To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigolearn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
So friends, now let's look at section 10 of IGST Act. And as we discussed already, section 10 deals with place of supply in case of goods. Now listen, section 10 is divided into 10.1 and 10.2, and 10.1 is further divided into 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d and 10.1e. There are 5 clauses in section 10 subsection 1. Other side, section 10 subsection 2 specifies that if the place of supply cannot be determined, as per provisions of section 10.1, then it will be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. That's all. So they just put a point in the law in section 10 subsection 2 where they just told that if place of supply cannot be determined by applying provisions of section 10 subsection 1, then the place of supply will be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. That's it. So if you are not able to determine place of supply by applying 10.1, then don't worry, they will tell you, they will prescribe in what manner you have to determine place of supply. And a practical point, generally it is prescribed by way of rules, and so far nothing has been prescribed. So our focus is only on 10 subsection 1, in which we have got 5 clauses: 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d, 10.1e. Let's talk every point in detail and become perfect. Listen, sir. So let's say, for example, there are 2 persons known as Mr. Ajay and Mr. Vijay, and Mr. Ajay is a wholesaler in electronic goods and Mr. Vijay is a retailer in electronic goods. And let's say, for example, Mr. Ajay is a registered person in Delhi and Mr. Vijay is a registered person in Karnataka. One day, Vijay contacted Ajay and ordered electronic goods, and Ajay then supplied that goods to Mr. Vijay. Correct, my dear friends? Now, in this particular scenario, how do we determine place of supply? For this particular scenario, my dear friends, we have got one section known as section 10 subsection 1 clause A, which specifies that place of supply in case where there is movement of goods. If you observe here, electronic goods are being moved from Delhi to Karnataka. The goods are going from Delhi to Karnataka, correct or not? Now there are 3 possibilities how that movement can happen. That is, number 1, Ajay himself is sending that goods to Vijay. Second possibility, Vijay is coming to the place of Ajay and then taking that goods. Third possibility, Ajay is sending that goods to Vijay through a transporter. Correct, my dear friends? So there is a possibility that movement of goods can be done by the supplier or by the recipient or by a third person. Third person is nothing but a transporter. Here, in this particular case, you have to understand that as per section 10.1a, place of supply in case where there is movement of goods shall be the place where movement of goods terminates. Terminates means stops. Movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. If you observe very clearly here, Ajay of Delhi supplied goods to Vijay of Karnataka. In this particular case, my dear friends, place of supply will become Karnataka, because movement of goods has terminated for delivery to the recipient in Karnataka. So transaction between Ajay and Vijay, that movement of goods or title on that goods is transferred from Ajay to Vijay in Karnataka only. So when the goods reach Karnataka, transaction has come to an end. So in this particular case, place of supply will become Karnataka. And where is the location of supplier? Location of supplier is in Delhi. So what Ajay will charge? Ajay will definitely charge IGST. Now let's say, for example, other situation. Vijay of Karnataka, he only went to Delhi and he purchased goods in Delhi and took delivery in Delhi itself, and the contract between Ajay and Vijay terminated in Delhi itself. When I say that contract between Ajay and Vijay terminated in Delhi itself, that means that movement of goods terminated in Delhi itself. In that case, my dear friends, place of supply will become Delhi, and what Ajay will charge is CGST and SGST. A very practical small example, guys. Sir Shivateja, a registered person in Telangana. Let's say I went to Mumbai, Maharashtra for some work there. Now in Mumbai, I went to one cloth store to buy one shirt. I went to one store, Van Heusen, and in that store, I purchased one shirt. Now that Van Heusen store will charge me CGST and SGST because movement of goods terminated in Mumbai itself. The contract between the shopkeeper and Shivateja terminated in Mumbai itself. I agree to the fact that even though Shivateja is bringing that shirt along with him to Telangana, still movement of goods between the shopkeeper and Shivateja terminated in Mumbai itself. So you need to understand that even though Shivateja is bringing that shirt to Telangana, the transaction between the shopkeeper and Shivateja has come to an end in Maharashtra itself. So place of supply will become Maharashtra itself and shopkeeper will charge CGST and SGST. Now let's say for example, another situation. Shivateja went to that shop, that store in Mumbai, and I ordered 100 shirts and told them, boss, supply these 100 shirts to Telangana. Contract between you and me will come to an end when the shirts will reach Telangana. So in this particular case, movement of goods will terminate for delivery to the recipient in Telangana. And where is the location of supplier? Location of supplier is in Maharashtra. So that shopkeeper will charge IGST. That's why I told you that type of tax to be charged will depend upon type of supply, and that will depend upon place of supply and of course location of supplier. So friends, what is the answer now? As per section 10(1)(a), place of supply in case where there is movement of goods shall be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. For what, my dear friends? Delivery to the recipient. Next point. Before I discuss 10(1)(b), let me complete 10(1)(c), because 10(1)(c) deals with the concept of place of supply in case of goods where there is no movement of goods. Movement of goods is not there. Possible. That also can happen where there is no movement of goods. Example, my dear friends, that is a case of furniture. What is that furniture? Fixed furniture we are talking about. Let's say there is one person known as Mr. X, who is a chartered accountant, who is a registered person in Gujarat. X, a chartered accountant, registered person in Gujarat. And this person, Mr. X, he wanted to set up or establish one office in Delhi. For that purpose, he went to Delhi and he purchased some office space which has also got pre-installed furniture. That means he purchased office space along with furniture in Delhi. Now, whenever he is buying office space, on that he will not pay GST, because we know that sale of land and building will not attract GST, because as per section 7(2)(a) read with schedule 3, it is neither regarded as supply of goods nor regarded as supply of service. So on that office space, he will not pay GST. But you have to observe that in that Delhi office space, along with that office space, there is also fixed furniture. Correct, my dear friends? Now, is X taking that furniture, removing that furniture from Delhi and taking it to Gujarat? Answer is no. X is just setting up an office in Delhi. For that purpose, he will use that furniture. So technically, if you observe, there is no movement of goods. In that case, my dear friends, provisions of section 10 subsection 1 clause C will apply. 10(1)(c) will come into picture to determine place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. Wherein, my dear friends, section 10(1)(c) has specified that in case where there is no movement of goods, place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. I repeat one more time. Place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. That means what? In our example, X purchased office space along with furniture, and that is where? In Delhi. In my example, my dear friends, place of supply for that furniture will become Delhi, because 10(1)(c) is applicable to a case where there is no movement of goods, and in case where there is no movement of goods, place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. And where is the location of goods? That is nothing but Delhi. So answer will become Delhi. So friends, we are done with two provisions now, 10(1)(a), 10(1)(c). 10(1)(b) we will talk, but we are done with 10(1)(a) and 10(1)(b). 10(1)(a) applies for what? 10(1)(a) talks about place of supply in case where there is movement of goods, and in case where there is movement of goods, place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient, and 10(1)(c) will apply to determine place of supply where there is no movement of goods, where 10(1)(c) specifies that place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. What a brilliant language they used. So that is the story of 10(1)(a) and 10(1)(c). My dear students, now let's look at the next very important section, and in fact this section came in exam so many times. That is about section 10(1)(b). What is that? Please listen very clearly and carefully. Come on, let's take an example where there are three parties involved. There is one person known as Mr. A, Mr. B and Mr. C. All three are dealers in, let's say, biscuits. All three are dealers in what, my dear friends? Biscuits. Mr. A is a registered person in Delhi. Mr. B is a registered person in Maharashtra. Mr. C is a registered person in Goa. So A is registered where? Delhi. B is registered in Maharashtra. C is registered in Goa. Now what has happened is that C knows A, but C doesn't know who is B. Now what has happened is, one fine day, Mr. C has contacted A and placed order for 1,000 biscuit packs with A. But what has happened was, A did not have enough stock with him to supply the biscuits to C. But A knows that there is one person known as Mr. B who is also a supplier of biscuits. Then A contacted B and placed an order for 1,000 biscuit packs with an instruction stating that Mr. B, don't supply that biscuits to Delhi, kindly supply that biscuits to Mr. C of Goa. Why they have done this? This is basically to avoid transportation cost. Now there is no logic and sense that goods will be sent from Maharashtra to Delhi, again from Delhi to Goa. That's ridiculous. So what has happened is, A placed order with B and instructed B stating that, my dear B, directly send that biscuits to Mr. C of Goa, don't send that to Delhi. But my question to you, sir, think properly and tell me, who has actually supplied the biscuits? Actual supply of biscuits was done by Mr. B. Now, will Mr. B raise invoice on C or will Mr. B raise invoice on A? Common sense point, B will obviously raise invoice on A only, because B doesn't know who is C. But B has sent the biscuits to C only on the instructions of Mr. A. Correct or not? Exactly. Now this kind of model or this kind of supply is known as build to ship to model. What is it, my dear friends? This is known as build to ship to model, because if you look at from B's point of view, B is in Maharashtra. If you look at from B's point of view, he will raise a bill on Mr. A, but goods are shipped to or sent to Mr. C. So bill to one person, ship to other person. So this is called as bill to ship to model. And in this particular transaction, how do we determine place of supply? For this purpose, we will apply section 10(1)(b), which specifies that in case where goods are supplied by a supplier to a recipient on the instructions of a third person. In our example, goods are supplied by B to C on the instructions of Mr. A. So if the goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of the third person, then place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. That means when Mr. B of Maharashtra is supplying goods to Mr. C of Goa on the instructions of Mr. A of Delhi, place of supply for this particular transaction will be Delhi. It will not be Goa. Our brain will automatically tell Goa, 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 because the goods are going to Goa. But the answer is not Goa, answer is Delhi, because Mr. B has supplied goods to C on the instructions of Mr. A. And section 10(1)(b) specifies that in case where goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person, in that case, my dear friends, place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. When I say third person, that means the person who has given the instructions In our example, B has supplied goods to C on the instructions of Mr. A. And A is in Delhi, B is in Maharashtra, C is in Goa. Even though goods are going to Goa, still the place of supply will become Delhi. This is because of section 10(1)(b). Now, other side of the story, listen very clearly. Mr. A got invoice from Mr. B, correct or not? Yes. Now, one other extension to this concept, that is, Mr. C actually placed order with whom? C actually placed order with A and told A to deliver. But A told B, deliver it to C. But C cannot ask invoice from B, quite obvious, because C doesn't know who is B. C placed order with Mr. A. Now, C will ask invoice from Mr. A. Now, when Mr. A is raising invoice on Mr. C, in that case, my dear friends, for transaction between Mr. A to Mr. C, we will apply section 10(1)(a and place of supply will become Goa. Why I applied 10(1)(a? Because this is a case where there is movement of goods. And why I applied 10(1)(a but not 10(1)(b? Because nobody instructed Mr. A to supply goods to C. C only asked A to supply and A supplied. But for supply between B to C, Mr. A instructed B to supply goods to C. Whenever one person gave instruction to another person to supply goods to some other person, for that particular transaction, we will apply 10(1)(b). So in this particular example, what I gave between A, B and C, there are two sections which will come into picture. From the point of view of Mr. B, section 10(1)(b) will come because Mr. A instructed B to supply goods to C. For that, 10(1)(b) will apply from the point of view of Mr. B. But for invoice between A and C, section 10(1)(a) will apply. And as per 10(1)(a), place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. And in our example, movement of goods terminated in Gujarat, movement of goods terminated in Goa. So place of supply will become Goa. So in example what I gave, there are two transactions involved. So 10(1)(b) technically talks about bill to ship to model. In case where goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of a third person, generally practically this happens by way of transfer of document of title to the goods. Document of title basically means a lorry receipt or airway bill or railway receipt. They'll endorse it on some other person's name. Getting clarity, guys? Listen, another interesting example I'll give you. Just apply common sense here. Listen, sir, let's say there is one person who belongs to Karnataka. Okay, his parents are in Karnataka. Let's say he's a CA student. Now that CA student of Karnataka, assume for a second, he has got lot of friends in Delhi. So he decided to take CA coaching in Delhi only. So he went to Delhi to stay in Delhi and finish off his CA coaching, become a chartered accountant and do a job in Delhi itself. And this particular person got a job in Delhi, a chartered accountant working in Delhi. But his parents are in, where sir? Karnataka. Now, he has got his first salary in Delhi. He thought he will give a wonderful gift to his mother and father. He booked 2 cell phones on Amazon. What he has done? He booked 2 cell phones on Amazon and with the instruction that these cell phones to be delivered in Karnataka to his parents. Generally, whenever you book some products like this on Amazon, Flipkart, something like that, they'll always ask you shipping address. There is something called billing address. There is something called shipping address. Now in this example, this particular person, let's say Mr. X in Delhi, who is doing a job in Delhi. Now assume for a second, X will give billing address as Delhi address and shipping address, he will give Karnataka address. This model is called as bill to ship to model because it is billed to Delhi but shipped to Karnataka. In this particular case, my dear friends, Mr. X has given instructions to Amazon to send the goods to where? Karnataka. In this particular transaction, place of supply will become Delhi, even though goods are going to Karnataka. Because as per section 10(1)(b), if the goods are supplied by supplier to a recipient on the instructions of a third person, place of supply will become principal place of business of such third person. So basically, place of supply will become Delhi. You need to understand that 10(1)(a) is different, 10(1)(b) is different, 10(1)(c) is different. 10(1)(a) will apply in case where there is movement of goods. Place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. 10(1)(b) talks about goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person, wherein place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. 10(1)(c) talks about place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. In that case, place of supply will be the location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. That's the story of 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b) and 10(1)(c). We are just left with 10(1)(d) and 10(1)(e). If we do that, section 10 will be over. Come on, let's discuss. Now that we are done with section 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b), 10(1)(c), now let's look at section 10(1)(d), my dear friends. Now what is that 10(1)(d) talking about? Let's take an example like this. We know that there is one company known as Reliance Industries, which is a registered person in Maharashtra. In fact, they have got branches in different states, and different states they have got registration. Now let's say Reliance Industries, registered person in Maharashtra, they wanted to set up one new store, let's say one new building, Reliance Trends. Where they want to open? They want to open in Meghalaya, and in that Reliance Trends store, they wanted to set up one escalator. Escalator we know, right? Exactly. Now for the purpose of setting up that escalator, Reliance company contacted Otis Elevators, which is a registered company in Delhi. Maharashtra based company contacted Delhi based company Otis Elevators to set up the escalators in Meghalaya in that particular store or Reliance mall. What is basically the nature of goods supplied here? The goods are basically installed, because that escalator or elevator, lift and all, they will be installed. Correct, my dear friends? Now, for this particular kind of supply of goods which is made by Otis Elevators, place of supply will not be Maharashtra. Place of supply will be Meghalaya. But why? Section 10(1)(d) specifies that place of supply in relation to goods assembled or installed at a site shall be the place of such installation or assembly. That means wherever goods are installed or wherever the goods are assembled, that becomes place of supply. Whenever there is the story of assembled or installed, you have to apply 10(1)(d) only. You can't apply 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b), 10(1)(c). So 10(1)(d) is a specific section which will come into the picture with respect to goods assembled or installed. For that, the answer for place of supply will be the place where goods are assembled or installed. In simple terms, we say place of such installation or assembly. That is the story of 10(1)(d). Very simple point. Now finally, one last point, another simple point which talks about section 10(1)(e). Now what is that 10(1)(e)? Listen. So let's take an example. Shivateja is going from, let's say, Hyderabad to Chennai. I'm going from where? Hyderabad to Chennai. Hyderabad is in Telangana state. Chennai is in Tamil Nadu. Now for the purpose of traveling from Hyderabad to Chennai, I booked a ticket of Indigo Airlines and I'm going by way of flight journey from Hyderabad to Chennai. Now, in the course of flight journey, I started feeling hungry and I wanted to procure some food items. And I called the air hostess and I have taken some food items. And what food item I have taken is not sandwich and all. I have taken one packed chips packet. Now, packed chips packet is not a service, it is a good. Whenever we are talking about food items, if they are supplied in a restaurant or they are prepared in a chat center or anything like that, that is called service. Packed food is always regarded as a good. So what did I take? I have taken one chips packet when during the course of flight journey. I did not take the chips packet when the flight was in Hyderabad. I did not take when the flight was in Chennai. When the flight was in transit, during the course of journey from Hyderabad to Chennai in air, I have procured the chips packet. Now the question is all about how do we determine place of supply? And this we say that place of supply for goods supplied on board a conveyance. On board means during the course of journey. On board that conveyance, we have taken some goods. Do we say the answer as air? Do we say the answer as territorial waters? Do we say the answer as Hyderabad? Do we say the answer as Chennai? In this particular case, my dear friends, the answer will become Hyderabad, because place of supply in case of goods supplied on board a conveyance shall be the place where goods are taken on board. Now, common sense point, when did the goods come into that flight? Common sense point, the goods have come into the flight in Hyderabad itself. Correct, right? That means in Telangana only the goods are taken on board. Correct, my dear friends? So for goods supplied on board a conveyance, place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. Clear, right? Now take another example. Let's say there is one flight journey from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. One flight is going from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. There is one person, Mr. P. He wants to go from Maharashtra to Delhi. He has taken the flight. He has entered the flight in Maharashtra and going to Delhi. But this flight is actually not starting from Maharashtra. This flight is coming from Karnataka. It's traveling from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. Correct, right? And in the course of flight journey, he purchased one chips packet. And this chips packet was there in the flight. It was taken into the flight in Karnataka itself. But our person, Mr. P, is traveling from where? Mr. P is traveling from Maharashtra to Delhi. And for supply of the chips packet, place of supply will not be Maharashtra. Place of supply will be Karnataka. Because the place where goods are taken on board is Karnataka but not Maharashtra. Very, very interesting point. So it is not relevant where the person has entered the flight. It is not relevant where the person has entered the conveyance. What is relevant is only where the goods are taken on the conveyance. So friends, 10.1e talks about place of supply with respect to goods supplied on board a conveyance. And with respect to goods supplied on board a conveyance, place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. So in my example, when a flight is going from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi, even though he has procured the goods during Maharashtra to Delhi journey, the goods were taken on the conveyance in Karnataka itself. So place of supply will become Karnataka only. Very, very interesting point. That is the story of section 10.1e, and that is the end of discussion for section 10. And as I told you, section 10 is divided into 10.1, 10.2. 10.2 says if place of supply cannot be determined under section 10.1, it is determined in such manner as may be prescribed. So they'll prescribe, don't worry. 10.1, we have got 5 clauses there: 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d and 10.1e. 10.1a talks about place of supply in case where there is movement of goods, where the place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. 10.1b will apply when goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person. Technically we call it as build to ship to model. In that case, place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. 10.1c talks about place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. Place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Then 10.1d talks about place of supply for goods assembled or installed. For that, place of supply will be place of such installation or assembly. Finally, last point, 10.1e, which deals with place of supply for goods supplied on board a conveyance, for which place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. It is not relevant where the person entered the conveyance. What is relevant is only where the goods are taken on board. That is the story of section 10 of IGST Act, which deals with place of supply in case of goods other than imported exported goods, because for import and export section 11 will apply but not section 10.